what ultimately made you want to speak out and what that process looked like for you, and the days and weeks and months afterward that follows after you do something like that.
You want to start, Sarah?
No, you got it. Go for it.
Well, my path wasn't exactly linear. I worked in the White House for the Chief of Staff until January 20th. I did plan to move to Mar-a-Lago with Mr. Trump after the end of the administration, even after January 6th. I look back on that now, and I have a very different perspective. But at the time, when I was still entrenched in that world, I felt that he needed good people around him, and I had been blinded to the fact that he was surrounded by enablers, but he is also the perpetrator. And I think that that speaks to a lot of what we have seen as a continuing problem with Donald Trump, is how he's been able to artificially seduce people into believing his lies. And so, that being said, I spent about a year and a half, kind of trying to toe both worlds. I didn't want to really be involved in Trump world at all anymore. I had been very outspoken after January 6th that we were at fault for what happened. But I had financial constraints, and I had an attorney that, was helping me through the first few depositions. It wasn't until a few pages of my transcripts were published that I had this, for lack of a better term, I kind of had a mental breakdown. Because I was reading these pages, and I knew the public servant that I had wanted to become when I entered public service. But I saw how far I had strayed from that person. I saw how I was avoiding telling the truth, and I hadn't been as forthcoming as I had wanted to be. So I called a member of Congress. I refer to him as Sam, and he is a current sitting member of Congress, Republican, did not serve on the January 6th committee. And that night, he asked me to go look in the mirror. And I was kind of annoyed at him that night, because I was crying, and I was like, I don't want to go look at myself. I look probably not great right now. And don't look at your appearance. I want you to go look at yourself. It was this really profound and impactful moment for me, because the next thing he asked me was, could you look at yourself for the rest of your life, knowing that you are not honoring the person that you want to be? Can you live with that person for the rest of your life? And I knew then that I couldn't. There were a few other people, including Alyssa, who helped usher me back to the right side of history, but I was really scared. And it wasn't until really I discovered this book called The Last of the President's Men by Bob Woodward, featuring Alex Butterfield. And Alex Butterfield worked for Nixon's chief of staff, H.R. Haldeman, and ended up revealing information to the Watergate Committee, but he didn't want to come forward. He still felt loyal to Richard Nixon, but the difference between myself and Alex Butterfield was that the moment that he was asked to come forward, he did. He honored his oath, and he honored his oath as a public servant, as a former member of the military, and as an American. So I saw who I had wanted to be in Alex, and that really gave me the drive and the push to move forward in this so-called journey, alongside a lot of other incredible, primarily women, but also my amazing team of attorneys who came in early June.